Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our backyard garden. Today's Wednesday, August 1st, 2018. Well, today I want to come out here to make a video on our bitter melon plants, and I want to quickly answer some of the questions that our viewer might have for me. Um, and at the end of this video, I want to show you a distinctive one of the another distinctive variety of bitter melon, and that is the Indian bitter melon. All right, so at the end I will show you that plants. But anyway, our bitter melon plants here are doing quite well. It's finally producing a whole bunch of fruit now. I think I spotted about a dozen fruit so far. They're probably hiding somewhere, so I need to look them up. Look at that. There's a tiny one here, and here's another one right there. Here's the one right there, and somewhere right here, and a whole bunch of them over here somewhere. All right, so the plants are doing quite well. All this plant you see here are volunteers. They come from last season plants. The seeds drop to the ground and they germinated, and I just leave them where they germinate. So I have about roughly almost 25 feet to 30 feet of trellis space, 6 feet height. So there should be enough trellis space for them to climb. And this season I only have maybe about 8 plants here, so which is really good spacing. Some of them get really close to each other, but that's all right. But they have plenty of room to grow. And judging from the base of the plant, they are developing quite well because the base is quite thick now. You can see here it's starting to harden up, and you can see the green color, and then you see this brown kind of outer tissue skin of the plant, and that tells you the plant is really becoming mature. That's the word I would say. See that? So this is a really mature plant now. Now it can grow even bigger. The diameter, this one is maybe about an inch, about the size of my thumb. So this is a really robust one, really healthy one. Just based on that level from the soil line up, I can tell you that the bitter melon, all these plants are very healthy. Some are slightly underdeveloped. Let me show you. Let me do a quick comparison. This guy here, look, even smaller than my index finger, compared to that one right there. That's a big, nice, well developed. Now the one in the back, it's a little small because maybe it germinated after the one in the front. So the one in the front kind of cover it a little bit. So it's still trying to climb up, and I can see the stem is really trying to climb up and trying to catch the sun. So everybody is competing for the space, and everybody competing to go upright toward the sunlight. And of course, bitter melon is a summer fruit, summer vegetable. They do extremely well in the hot season, and they thrive all over Asia, from Vietnam to Thailand to Cambodia, China, India, everywhere in Asia. This is one of the favorite vegetable in home cuisine, Asian cuisine. And again, the fruit has a bitter taste. You probably know by now because it's called bitter melon, bitter gourd. So it's bitter. It's an acquired taste. You have to get used to it. Once you get used to it, it becomes bittersweet. It's sweet. And some say that it's good for you because of the bitterness. It helps counter sugar, so and so. And I don't know that as a fact, but I'm just pointing it out, that what people is telling me. Okay, so also from the point of view from above the soil level, the foliage are beautifully beautifully developed, very dense. You can't even see the trellis anymore. 2 weeks ago when I come out here, you can see the bare trellis like this side, right? But now if you look at here, they're completely enveloped, and they completely cover up the trellis. And everywhere you see side shoots everywhere. It's just popping out. And that's the distinctive part about bitter melon is that they produce a lot of side shoot, and where the side shoot, there will be fruit formation and flowers. Okay, so in terms of pruning, you don't really need to prune them. I don't prune the bitter melon. As far as up from midsection, 3 feet up, I don't prune them. Now, occasionally, I do prune them on the bottom, very low to the base. All right. So unless they have 1 or 2 large side shoot that comes up, let me see if I can give you a better example, like this. So, you start from the single and then they spread out 2. Those are pretty much even, and those are pretty big, right? And once it's produced this tiny little side shoot like this, and the leaves are tiny like this, it's really insignificant, and you can prune them off to save the energy for the upper canopies. So all right. So unless it has fruit like this one here is from another vine here. We already have the fruit, and that one there is a little bit underdeveloped, and you can tell the leaves are quite small, and the vine are kind of stringy a little bit. It's not very robust. It's not very strong compared to the other guy that's really taking off. Okay, so pruning again, you can prune about 12 inches below the base to give it more air space, to give it more air circulation, so the plant get a little more air circulation at the bottom, so it won't develop any kind of fungus. In terms of disease, this plant is really good at disease resistant. It's very good at fighting off multiple type of insect. I haven't had any problem with bitter melon. I haven't seen anything that attack bitter melon. Maybe someday I might. I don't know that. I haven't come across it yet, so I don't know. In general, they don't have any problem at all. Now, once in a while, you have spotty leaves, brown leaves with certain little spot. Once a few leaves, fine. But if you're starting to you see multiple, across uniformly of all this brown leaf with all this spot, then there might be some kind of problem. But again, I have not experienced anything like that since I've grown this plant for I don't know how long. Okay, in terms of fertilizer, I use organic compost. I use worm casting, and I'm also experimenting with a dry form of fertilizer. So it's just a pellet form where you put with the soil, or you can mix it with the soil, or you put on top and then water it down. So that's a convenient part for me. I don't have to mix the fertilizer like the fish fertilizer. You have to mix them, and it will smell real bad. Attract a lot of insects. Okay, and water them daily now since it's really hot. When they dried out, you can see right away the leaf will pretty much crumble like this. When it's dried out, you can tell right away. And now if you look at the leaves, they're all pretty much open wide like this, very nice and green. No yellow leaves, but eventually they will develop yellow leaves, and usually at the bottom up. And of course, those are the leaves that the plant shed. That's just natural. Okay, several few of them here and there, that's not a problem. But if you see, a large percentage of yellow leaves, then that can be an indication of some kind of problem, overwatering, some kind of nutrient deficiency or something. I don't know, but I'm saying that it should be completely green. The plant should be green everywhere. And again, during the mid-season, they will develop yellow leaves, and that's just natural. That's just the way it is. All right, so let me give you a quick shot. This is how the fruit look like when they're kind of nice and big, and this is how the tiny one looks like. So trying to have a image in your head how they look like, and let me compare that to the Indian variety. So let me walk you out real quick around the corner, and let's go. All right, well, I can't pause this video, so I have to do a continuous recording. All right, so come on. All right, so here we at. Okay, so here it's the Indian bitter melon variety. I have two plants here. One I plant them in the ground, and the other one's in the container. Now both of them about the same size and development. The base of the plant so far is still very tiny. Now, I want it to be like this stick here. This side would be okay, but this is still real tiny. But if you look at the top part, you know, it seems to do quite well. It seems to be thriving. It seems to be multiplying in terms of the shoots, the side shoots, the leaves quite big. Is there a difference? Not really. You can't really tell. I can't tell the difference between this variety, the Indian variety, and the other, you know, Taiwan variety. I can't really tell. The one observation I made, maybe this is subjective, it's the leaves, the part from here to there is slightly longer, and the leaf it's not as dense. Maybe that's just the way subjectively I'm looking at the plants. Now, one thing that is distinctively different, you can tell right away, it's the fruit. All right, the fruit is by far it's the most distinctive. It's much smaller even when it's fully developed. It has spike on them. The spike is not like, you know, like rose spike. No, I don't mean that. It just has a lot of ridges. The fruit is much smaller. The flesh inside is much thinner compared to the other variety, and the bitterness is a little bit more intense, I would say. So the bitterness level is maybe higher than the other variety. I went out and bought the Indian bitter melon, and after that I extracted the seeds and plant them in the ground, and sure enough they germinate. A lot of them germinate, and I gave some to my relatives. So we'll see how this variety develop. They grow under the same conditions, hot summer conditions. They climb the same. They have the tendril, the side shoot. Even the flower looks the same. Maybe slightly not as yellow, slightly pale yellow, not as bright yellow. But overall, you can't really tell if I were just you know, I can't even tell. I don't think I can tell. All right, and I think I have 7 feet of trellis space here by 4, maybe 5 feet, so about 35 square feet. Not enough for 2 plants, but we'll see how this one develops. And once the fruit are much bigger, I will show you another video to compare them. All right, so that's it for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed this video and see the difference between these two distinct variety of bitter melon. Okay, next, when I come back, I will make another video on our update on our millibar spinach and other plants. So I like to make a video on each individual plant. I don't want to put all in one video, so the videos is not as long, so the videos get too long. So I try to cut my video 15 minutes and lower, and I hope this is the right format. And again, I don't edit my video. I don't have sound. I don't have music. I don't have anything at all. This is just a complete 100% homemade video. But the exception is I use the iPhone. All right, so enough of that. Please tune back in, and please subscribe to our video, to our channels. And if you have any questions, any comments, please post a comment for me. And we'll see you again next time. Happy gardening.